please. Official. Just go and pass here. I think they're all signed up, but pass it around and I'll let everybody know while we're passing it around. Everybody, welcome to December. Can you believe it? December 1st. I mean, it's gonna be 2022 before we know it. This year is flying by. Sorry. Would you all please bow your heads and lead us in prayer, please?
Gracious God, we pause for a moment to give you thanks. We've been quite thankful the past month because that's what we were told to do. Now this month, we are in a season of preparedness. We are turning our thoughts to why we pray to you to begin with. You sent your Son to save us. You give us love and mercy. You show us a wonderful world in which we could live if we would just follow your commandment to love one another as we love ourselves. We are a group that tries to love one another, and most of the time we do. We are a group that puts service above self, and we think that's what you call us to do. We ask for blessings on what we do and how we do it and for who we do it. We also today will hear from a few young people who give us hope for the future. So be with them. Keep their knees from knocking and their hands from shaking, because we are sure that they have a good word to share with us. In all of this, we give you thanks, Lord. We give you our admiration. We give you our praise. We give you everything that we have. And in your Son, we ask this.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And before we test is over here, right? And today, first
Is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendship? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you all so much. So a couple business things we want to discuss, and then I'm super excited to hear from our students today. So first off is a little friendly reminder that we are in the process of building our Impact Club, and we need just 2 more members. I know we have a lot of invites out there. Joan, Sharon, and myself are going to do some follow-ups, but if there's a friend or family member that you know wants to help our community, please share this with them. As much as it's going to help our club, it's something, I mean, we all joined this club for a reason, and that's the reason that they want to be a part of this club too. So think of others not in a way that you're asking them for something, but you're giving them something. So just want to bring that up. We are doing our bell ringing for the Salvation Army at the Walmart here on December 4th. That is this Saturday. Can't believe it. And we have filled our roster. So from 10 to 6 p.m. we have 2 people, at least a couple kiddos here and there. So thank you all so much. What do we say? Like try to come about 10 or 15 minutes early for your shift to relieve the next person, so nobody has to stay over too much. And yeah, will it be the door for like you walk in for the pharmacy? Ash, the pharmacy door?
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
So it's that door, if you're facing the building to the left is where we're gonna be right in there.
It comes this way.
So I'm gonna reach out to Carol today. We just needed to get a little bit more information about the Samaritan House Christmas project, when those gifts needed to be submitted, so.
I have mine in my car.
Okay.
I need to get those.
Okay, we'll get those after the meeting, but yeah, I'll reach out to Carol and copy you and Stacy so we can get some more information for that and get those toys to those kiddos. So just a friendly reminder that we are stuffing stockings for Adopt the Grandparents on December 16th at the Sleep Inn here in Moundsville at 11 a.m. Is there anything else you want to share about that, Sharon? Share about that, Sharon.
I hope it comes out right. This has been chaotic. I mean, just chaotic. And my stuff is, Main Street Bank has stuff, and Sleep Inn has stuff, and my office has stuff. And I hope that when we get all the stuff in one room, that it's the right amount of stuff and everything goes where all the stuff is supposed to go.
It'll be great.
We ended up with 126 because we had 125, but then I had one more person said, oh, I really want to do that. Is it too late? It was on the day, the last day. It's like, no, it's not too late. So I have 126. We need more places. I called Jennifer Fossen. I told you, may know her. She's active in the chamber here, but her, she's at a nursing home in Woodsfield. And I called her and she got back with me, and they actually do a thing in their facility where the staff donates and they make sure everybody gets a gift. So they've already done that. But then they do that on Christmas Eve, but she said she had about 5 that on Christmas Day wouldn't have anything, so I'm gonna give her 5. She lives in Moundsville, so I'll just meet up with her and give most to her. I don't really know. Dorothy suggested churches in here, which I had thought of, for shut-ins. We have, well, 39 left.
What all are we putting in them? I mean, we have a shelter.
Oh,
I don't know if that would. work.
oh.
Yeah.
There's a stuffed animal just because it looks cute. There's Dove candies, Ghirardelli candies, you know, like chocolate. A word search puzzle and a pen, a pair of socks.
You know, I mean, if you wanted to do that,
How many would you,
I can find out what our count was.
yeah, find out, let me know.
Yes, right now.
That's
It-
cool.
It's under 20 probably.
Find out, let me know. That's cool. Is that all right with everybody?
That's perfect.
Tom said here in Moundsville, Connie Young has the 2 assisted living.
Somebody asked me about that.
I
don't
did.
know. You, okay,
Mhm.
sorry.
But we were gonna wait till we had a total count, but this,
Do you know
this is
her?
good.
Does anybody know her?
Somewhat.
Can you, do you know how to reach out to her?
Mhm.
Can you do that?
Mhm.
Okay, well, you check with her and then we've got Ashley for Salvation
Okay.
Army and I bet that'll take care of it.
So that should be about 19-ish. The other thing that if we had some that was left, we could always check with RJ from Helping Heroes.
Oh, yeah.
If the
Oh,
veterans are,
okay.
And I would say, Sharon, if you have anybody else that wants to donate, since you've already purchased all the items, I would just say thank you very much. I would say towards next year. To take a donation
Well,
and
that's
put
a
it towards
lot.
next year. So
Yeah, because I'll tell
You
you,
don't want to go out and search
well,
and
and then
try
that's
to
the other
find
thing. So
2
I
more of
had
everything.
120 of everything, right? Because I thought that was plenty. And we had 125, so no problem, I'll go buy more. No, I won't, because there isn't any stuff there sometimes. So I went and bought more of some things. Some of them don't have the cute little snow globe. And I thought, well, I had 15 brushes left from last year, right? So they don't get a snow globe, they'll get a hairbrush. No, they won't, because I don't know where they are. But they might be packed in the boxes that are stored somewhere. Because I might have been really on it and been real organized at the time. But if they are, they're in the bottom box on my big stack of boxes in my office. So I'm not sure what they're gonna get, but they will get something and it will be cute. It'll be nice. And I'm not going and looking for any more stuff because the last one stocking I sold, I found one stocking.
so what are you missing? About 15 little figurini, like snow globey things? Is that what?
I don't.
what you're
know how
short?
many, 120. I'm only missing 6.
I'll be out and about today. Let me see what I can find.
Okay, let me know and I'll give you money for whatever.
Oh, we'll talk about that later.
I'm sorry, that's it.
There is a sign-up sheet for the Christmas party going around. I sent an email out to, and a couple people, RSVP for emails, so I added them to the list. But that will be December 9th, next Thursday. Cocktails at 5:30, dinner will be at 6 p.m. And that is at Alexander's on 7th, right over here. Most amazing food. If you haven't had it before, I can't wait to actually go to a Christmas party for us. And then we are doing an optional $15 exchange, gift exchange. And we found out a little more information because we're newbies over here. We don't know what to do. So it could be kind of a gag gift. It could be a serious gift. It could be lottery tickets. It could be alcohol. It could be a blanket. So anything that makes your heart happy, $15. Something though that would be fine for a man or a woman. And have fun. 15.
15.
Well, we were both wrong.
She was trying to get more money out of us.
I was.
The last thing that, oh, yes.
I do have a question. If they just put their one name, like Linda Miller, just, and Linda's not bringing it, correct? But if they-
So I assume if, this means that there's gonna be two people, but they're bringing plus one, because that's how I did mine with Josh, you know, so I.
Like mine,
assume-
I've got my name and
And
then
then plus-
guest is one.
Yeah, because it says like guest, and I think some, so I don't think they're bringing two guests.
Okay, well, but I guess I did the form. Okay, I meant, how many are coming? Joni and Mitch are coming, so there's two.
Okay, put me down for
Sharon
two,
and Will
Oh.
is coming and it's two. So Linda would be one.
because I think I had that at first and then I changed it because it said
Okay.
yes.
Katrina, is it
Brittany
two?
is a one or two? Dorothy is two, right? Carol is one, Bob is one. Patty and Paula are coming. I know, they're on this list.
They were here last
Wonderful.
week, yeah.
I know, I was very excited
Tell
to
them
see
I'll be
that.
your
So
date.
Katrina is gonna go two.
Sorry, guys.
I did,
No,
I did as well.
It was my fault.
Stacy, two.
Bonnie, and Dan, two.
Saw that,
Rachel.
yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to like.
I'm a two, I wrote the names.
Ashley.
Ashley, just one.
Okay.
Mike,
Mike, one.
Just me.
Other, Josh, two, Jennifer, George.
Jennifer's just one. Everybody else followed the rules pretty well.
Yeah,
What was different about you?
Two. Josh is two.
Oh, I've never had a beer.
I don't know.
I don't even have.
He was
to
doing
there.
baseball calls over here.
Josh isn't even there.
Yeah, we'll be
Hairstyle.
Well, the hair is different, yeah. I let it grow a little bit.
Wonder about Brittany.
Bert,
Yeah. Brittany.
one
I've
is one.
Yeah, I
been
know.
a few times.
Yeah, we do text her. and
I
see
will.
what one
Do you?
Other than
wanna do
tanning a few
something
times here and there. I don't use the tanning that I use.
You
There's
can
a spray
take
that I
today
use.
or the night of.
It's a lot safer.
I can't do this crazy sprays. I look like a pumpkin.
Mark down.
Me too.
Well, what I do is I spray it twice over to make sure. I don't miss it.
But then I'm dark streaks and light streaks. I can't do it, Mike.
Okay, I'm good, sorry.
Don't be sorry. Thank you. Thank you for organizing it
Fine.
and getting me in line. That's the toughest thing.
I use a fake thing.
All right, so I just wanted to discuss, we had a donation request. This is for the Moundsville Arts and Culture Commission. They're having their annual Christmas on the Avenue event. This will take place Saturday, December 18th from 5 to 8 p.m. And this will be on Jefferson and Fifth Street. Christmas on the Avenue is a free community event for families to gather and celebrate the holiday season. This year, we will have a variety of activity stations, including ornament coloring, cookie decorating, pictures with Santa, hot chocolate station, balloon art, horse and carriage rides, hay rides, a DJ, a lighted tree. It is a priority of the commission to offer our events for free at a very low cost to ensure no family in Marshall County has any barriers to attend or engage. Your support, let's see here. So they are looking for title sponsors for one of the above activities. And this would be a $250 sponsor level. And they're actually gonna ask to have the people from our club be there to kind of man the station and help the community. Would that be something we would want to be involved in?
It's not required to have volunteers there that night, but we're putting out that offer if the sponsoring organization wants to have volunteers help at the station. They're sponsoring, they're more than welcome to come. And the sponsorship will have a sign. So let's say we wanted to sponsor the horse and carriage rides. So at the horse and carriage ride station, it would say sponsored by Mount Silver.
Is 250 the lowest level?
Yeah, there's just the one
And
level.
when is it?
December 18th.
If you didn't want to do 250, then we do have additional sponsorships. They wouldn't be a title sponsor of the activity station, but we would put your name on our additional sponsorship sign that was at the event. Yes.
Josh? We have money?
I make a motion.
I will.
We all make a motion. Yeah, go ahead, Shelley.
So I'll make a motion that the council be a title sponsor for the
18th.
Do we have a second? All in favor?
I-
Anybody opposed? Motion carries.
Do we pick what we want
Give
to
a
sponsor?
preference in which activity station is like.
What all are still available? 'Cause I know there was a couple of us that-
The one that most
Yeah, me
people.
too.
Yeah, Horse and Carriage Ride is still available.
I like
That's
Horse and
the
Carriage.
thing.
I love that. Everybody,
Let's do that.
balloon animals, I know you don't want me near that.
Balloon animals still available, horse and carriage ride, cookie decorating, DJ, and the lighted tree are still available for sponsorships.
Horse and carriage.
I like it.
That's the biggest, most exciting activity.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Should make
Sarah.
that one.
And I'll be happy,
Get that in there.
I'll volunteer for that one.
Do you know
There
if
you go.
Main Street said what they wanted to sponsor?
They did not specify.
Yeah.
We'll do,
Okay.
we'll do the balloon.
I
You can-
know we saying the balloon.
Oh, okay, then what else is available?
The tree, we have the DJ, and the hayride is still available.
Oh, hayride.
Oh, hayride. That's perfect. That's perfect for
I was gonna
you.
ask if I could drive the horses with the carriage.
Drive the horse.
I figure there's a liability there.
Do you drive them? Is that how you-
Well, you have, yeah, you rein.
I'm not.
Somebody has to steer the beast.
Autopilot horse.
Right.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely, we are happy
So
to
Main
help.
Street will do the hayride.
And
Okay.
if we can get volunteers, we can do.
We're more than happy to have you.
But we do not have to have volunteers. Okay, so we'll just discuss that next week. We have a club meeting, so we'll make sure we put that out there and I'll send it out in the mail.
Sarah, who's the check go out to?
It would be City of Moundsville Arts and Culture Commission. Thank
Sarah?
you.
Is there anything else that the club wanted to discuss? I think Josh, that was maybe. While you're thinking, let me ask our amazing Cameron students, did you already pick who gets to go first?
I say rock, paper, scissors.
I love
The
it.
loser goes first.
Yeah. It's not gonna be the winner.
We have a our fundraiser account, we have over 13,000.
Oh,
We've got some of that money earmarked for things we already have budgeted.
Sure.
Obviously, but yeah, we're pretty
well, that's great.
fundraising wise, we're pretty good.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so I get the pleasure of presenting one of our students from Cameron for their scholarship presentation. We have 3 wonderful students today. Are you gonna make me pick? Don't make me pick.
I can pick, I mean, it's
Oh, they
make
just
it
said they
easier.
just- Are you, are
Ian?
are you okay with my first? So our first presenter today is Ian Bush from Cameron, and we are very excited to have all 3 of you. So thank you, and sorry to put you on the spot there. Thank you.
He'll get back at the girls later.
So my name's Ian Bush. I think it introduce myself to some of you. But today I was going to talk about wrestling and what it's taught me throughout my career. Not only is it something that I'm passionate about, but it's also something that I think teaches values that align. I've competed in wrestling since the age of 5, wrestling through elementary school, middle school, and now high school for a total of 13 years. And next year I'll be lucky enough to be able to compete at the collegiate level at Michigan University. Competing at the Division I level in college has been a long time goal of mine since the beginning of my career. And I believe that it was only made possible through the values and skills I learned competing in the sport. Overall, participating in wrestling has taught me the usefulness of a good work ethic, how to learn from mistakes, the benefit of helping others, and the value of building lasting relationships. So first, a large part of what wrestling has taught me, beginning of my career, and continues to teach me, is the usefulness of a good work ethic. Wrestling is a sport that requires you to remain focused and commit yourself to the process of improving your skills. And the only way to prove it's something is through a good work ethic. At the beginning of my career, I struggled with staying focused in practice and remaining fixed on the goal at hand, improving my wrestling. This translated to me losing a lot through the early stages of my career, but it also showed me what was required to win. better work ethic. So later, when I came into practices and workouts with set goal, was dedicated to getting better. I saw a noticeable improvement in my ability. The harder I worked in practice, the better results I got when I wrestling competitions. So slowly, I picked this up. I started to improve. I wasn't only wrestling; this helped me improve it though. Using this lesson, I applied to other aspects of my life. Saw similar improvements. By using a like mindset when it came to school and work, I was able to not only improve my grades, but also my learning as a whole. Working hard on my assignments allowed me to accomplish them faster while accurately retaining the information I was learning. Even if it wasn't something I was fully interested in, that I was learning about, the work ethic I learned in wrestling, something that I was passionate about, allowed me to begin to utilize it in areas that I wasn't excited about. So today I apply the simple mindset to different areas of my life. I can better accomplish my goals and achieve many of the things I only dreamed of doing. So the second thing wrestling taught me was how to learn from my mistakes. As I said before, in the beginning of my career, I lost a lot. And even today, I still lose or make mistakes. But it's what I learned from those losses and mistakes that truly changed me. When first starting out in the sport, learning from your mistakes was constantly preached to me by many of my coaches. But it wouldn't be until later in my career that I actually began applying it. Doing mistakes not as mistakes, but instead as opportunities for learning and growing really altered my perspective. Don't be afraid to fail, but instead be ready to learn from your failures is something that I still apply to this day. Losing in wrestling is part of the sport, an inevitable aspect of entering into any competition. However, how you interpret that loss is what really matters. Now when I lose, it isn't about being upset I lost, but instead figuring out why I lost. Maybe my conditioning was off, I didn't move wrong, or the other guy was just better. Either way, determining why I lost and correcting it is what really matters. Out of all the things I learned in wrestling, I think this actually had the biggest effect on other aspects of my life. It could be seeing what I did wrong when I tested in school, later starting what I missed, or realizing why a project I was working on hadn't turned out the way I wanted it to. By actually acknowledging my mistakes and learning from them, I had a better idea of not repeating them. Another important thing wrestling showed me was the benefit of helping others. Now, later in my career, when I practice or a team workout, I really get to experience what it's like to help others now that I'm a classmate. One of the things I realized as I began helping to teach others is the satisfaction I get when others succeed. Winning myself is great, but seeing others win is even better, knowing that you helped someone else achieve their goals. So when our high school team gets to practice with our middle school, I get to help show wrestling moves and improve their skills. Seeing them learn and improve, being able to accomplish what they want to do in the sport is rewarding because I was in the same position as them at that point. So even outside of wrestling, helping others has proved to be a fulfilling process, whether it be showing someone how to do a problem in school, giving your time for community service, or even something as small as holding the door for a stranger. All of these can not only make people's day, but also give myself an opportunity to give back. Finally, wrestling has also taught me the value of building lasting relationships. My time in the sport, I've interacted with many different coaches and other athletes and been able to form friendships. Wrestling has given me access to meet a lot of different people and showed me how important it is to connect and interact with faces. I think it's very important of the sport. Is a very important aspect of the sport as a whole, as it gives people a common background to build a new relationship from. Recently, throughout the summer, I traveled to Fargo, North Dakota to compete. And on the trip, I was able to connect with people from around the state on my team. And without wrestling, I don't think I would have ever had the chance to meet many of the people I did. This part of the sport gave me insight to go out, make new friends, and not hesitate to take that initiative to form lasting relationships. So kind of overall, I think the sport of wrestling has left a lasting impression on me. It showed me many things, afforded me opportunities I never thought possible, and changed how I go about my daily life. You guys have any questions?
Plan on continuing wrestling when you go to college? Or?
I do, yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
What, I don't remember if you mentioned what college.
WVU.
WVU, okay.
Yeah.
I think they got a pretty good wrestling program.
Yeah, they're a lot better. Or they get better.
Yeah, they'll be better once they get you there.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I just want you to adopt my grandson.
No pressure.
No, not at all. I wish he could have heard you because we're working on that work ethic thing with him
Yeah.
right now. And That's so important to somebody. He's 11, but that's so important to the younger kids,
Yeah,
boys or girls,
yeah,
to hear people like you say what you said.
yeah.
So
I think it's,
That's awesome.
it's really important. I think it applies to a lot of different aspects of your life.
Definitely.
Maintenance, school, workouts,
Mhm.
whatever you want to apply to.
That definitely does. Good job.
Well, we'll let him watch.
So I was talking about you yesterday.
Oh, really?
To Mike Carmen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anthony come up and wrestle.
He did, yeah, on Wednesday and Friday last week.
Anthony Carmen, Carl Marshall. Carl Marshall slash Mark David wrestles at WU now. Started now.
He is, yeah.
Sophomore. Yeah, so it's talking about Ian yesterday. So he has quite a name in wrestling. I coach really wrestling club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So wrestling, it's the hardest sport, there is, especially for you athletes. Extremely difficult. It's not even, you gotta be a different kind of person to enjoy wrestling. It's not like baseball or basketball. It's very hard.
You gotta
You
be
wrestle
in
your
real
whole
good
life
shape
through
to
high
do it.
school, especially
Very
collegiate.
individual.
Yeah. Work plus college. Congratulations.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Anything else?
You're like a local celebrity because Anthony's my cousin and my grandma was just telling me. that you were- My little ones are 5 and 6 and they wrestle.
Oh,
And so
wow.
they were wrestling with Gabe and
Okay.
throwing punches to the face and giving him a bloody nose. My grandma said, well, you need to wrestle with Ian and Anthony.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And thank you. Excellent. All right, we have next up Montgomery. All right, Montgomery Bertram. We didn't get to meet you last week because you were out of town, so welcome. We're thrilled to have you. Thank you.
My name is Montgomery Bertram, and today I'm going to be talking about how showing livestock has helped me throughout life and how it's been one of my hobbies. So almost my entire life has been spent in a barn or a show ring. Some people will even tell you that if there was a bed and a bathroom in the barn, I would live there. From showing my first lamb at the county fair to exhibiting at national shows, I've learned an uncountable number of lessons, made many memories, and gained lifelong friends. While it creates a crazy lifestyle that wouldn't be possible without all the help and support I have, I wouldn't trade it for the world. In April of 2013, my dad and I traveled to a farm in West Virginia to attend a market lamb sale. I picked out my favorite lambs and waited for the sale to begin, anxious to buy and take home the first one I selected. The auction started and the lamb I wanted was going to sell soon. I watched my dad as he raised his hand to bid, filled with excitement and hope that we were going to be the highest bidder. He told me the price went too high and that we would have to move on to the next pick. I was devastated. But fortunately, the sadness didn't last long because not long after, we loaded 2 little ewe lambs onto the trailer and headed home. I named the gray sheep Whitney and the one with the black dot Spot. Throughout the summer, I bonded with those 2 lambs and had great friends that would always listen. Of course, my parents helped me a lot and from the first year to now. The week of the county fair in July came quick and I couldn't wait to show off Whitney, my prized possession at the time. My mom helped me get ready in the camper and was probably trying to keep me calm. I placed 3rd in showmanship in first in confirmation, and my drive to win increased greatly after that. Not long after the fair, I picked out a steer from calves that had been born on our farm to show the following year. I had to halter break the steer so I could start washing and practicing showmanship. The market steer project was much longer and required more work than a lamb project, but I still loved it. The next year, we went to buy my lamb from the same farm. I put more work into my animals than the first year and was excited for the fair. While I love showing off my animals, I also look forward to Fair Week because I get to spend time with my friends. The cycle started again as I picked out my show steer for the next year. Every year, the amount of work I put in increased greatly and it showed. I got to go to my first jackpot show that fall. I can't remember any of the placings, but I do remember how much fun I had with my friends. In 2015, I showed my first homegrown lamb and exhibited at my first lamb jackpot show. I placed toward the bottom of the class at many shows, and it was disappointing to put a lot of work in and not get good results. I looked up to the people who won the shows and dreamed of winning like them. I've continued to show at jackpots, and I've enjoyed them more and more every year. That year at the county fair, I won champion overall lamb show. I was so happy and surprised I started crying. All of my hard work was paying off, and it was helping to build my confidence in the show ring and in life. In 2016, I picked out a pig to show along with my lamb this year. Just like the other animals, I love the pigs and put a lot of work into them. County Fair 2016 was a blast. I won champion lamb showman, champion county bred lamb, and reserve overall market. A couple weeks after, we drove to Lewisburg, West Virginia to show at the State Fair of West Virginia. I showed a lamb and feeder calves, had a lot of fun with my friends, and met new friends. We went to more jackpot shows with the cattle and sheep that year. I had a lot of fun at these shows, but I would get disappointed with some of the placings, as I'd always have a drive to win. Summer of 2017, I worked more than I ever had before with my lamb, steer, and pig. I won champion overall lamb with a lamb we raised, along with showmanship titles and high placings in classes at the county fair that year. As the quality of my animals increased, I also started placing better at jackpot shows and state fair. It was exciting to be more competitive, and it was fun to be at the top of the class. Having more success at these shows was meaningful to me because I remember how it felt to not do as well. I also fell in love with clipping and fitting the cattle to get them ready for the shows. I was not very good when I started, but I've made large improvements from attending camps and watching other people. I'll watch and clip a calf just for fun and because I wanted to be better. It is a skill that I have continued to work on, and now I'm able to help teach others what I've learned. In 2018, I achieved a goal I had since I had started showing. I won champion overall showman at the county fair and did so for the following 2 years. My placings at jackpots and state fair jumped, and I continued to make more memories and friends. I won showmanship titles at state fair along with some high confirmation placings. Fall of 2018, I exhibited at my first major show. I had a blast. I showed in Louisville, Kentucky at the North American International Livestock Expo. I took market lambs, and while I didn't place in either confirmation or showmanship, it was still a great experience. I've shown there each year, and I also added cattle in 2020. The spring of 2019, I decided to slick shear my market steer to get a healthy, even coat of hair for the fair. From that summer on, I woke up at 5:30 every morning, brought my steer inside and rinsed it. In August that same year, I showed two ewe lambs I raised at State Fair. They ended up placing first and second in their classes, and one went on to be reserve champion in the lightweight division. I was very excited. I got to show in the grand overall drive at the State Fair for the first time. 2020 was a crazy year for everyone, as well as stock show kids. Shows were getting canceled, and showmen had already bought their animals for the year. Amazing groups of people set up online shows and gave out great awards. I competed in every show I could until there were live ones to attend. The county fair and state fair were very different than normal, but I did well at both. I'm glad people took the time to make all of these events possible. At Nail in November 2020, I exhibited 2 market lambs and 1 heifer. I made the cut and placed top 10 with all my animals, which is a huge achievement at a show of that size. 2020 has been the best year yet, and I look forward to trying to beat it. I added another animal to the list and bought a goat to show. By buying that goat, I gained friends that would always help and support me. I had the most fun I had ever had at jackpot shows and realized who my true friends were. I started the show season with a bang and won showmanship with lambs and was reserved for goats. My lambs and goats also placed top 5 in their divisions. Every weekend through the end of May to the end of June, I went to a jackpot show. I won many banners and even took home a check a few times. At one show, my lamb won champion overall, and right when I exited the ring, a family that we became closer to this year congratulated me and were genuinely happy. That moment made me think about many things and how I've learned to surround myself with people who are supportive and happy for me. By showing and raising livestock, I've learned that if I continue to work hard and put in the time, I can achieve my goals. I enjoy having enough experience to help others that have the same interests as me. I realize that there are younger kids in our livestock club that are looking up to me just the same as when I started showing. I've learned that anytime there is competition involved, it can sometimes be challenging to maintain friendships. There can be many highs and lows, and I've learned to accept them all and to take the best with them. Being a part of the livestock industry has taught me responsibility, financial management, communication skills, and so much more. I can't think of any other way that I would want to spend my time. I love it so much that I want it to be a part of my adult life and part of my future career. I've been able to travel with my family and friends to various parts of the country to attend shows and visit farms to sort their livestock. I'm blessed to have been introduced to the livestock world. And I know that growing up in this industry has given me the tools that I need not only to be grand champion in the show ring, but also to be grand champion in life. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Montgomery, what is a jackpot show?
So usually it's when the animals are younger. So it's open to anyone across the country and they'll pay out, which is why it's called a jackpot. So like the person who wins gets like a set amount of money. Like sometimes it can be 500. The cattle shows comes anywhere up to like 1,000 or around there. And then they'll also pay out like the classes, and, usually down to like 5th place in class. Sometimes they do that.
Who sponsors the jackpot shows? Or is there?
Usually they ask like local farms or businesses or anyone that like makes products for the animals. There's a lot of good sponsors in the industry and it helps a lot.
Montgomery, how would you like to incorporate this into your career in the future? What are your future plans?
So I'm gonna go to a junior college and hopefully compete on a livestock judging team. And then after that, I'm gonna study vet science. And being raised in this industry has really helped me a lot with that.
Do you have a favorite animal that you work with, or do you love them all the same?
I like them all. I had a lamb this year that I showed. I raised him. He was the lamb that won a bunch, and I liked him a lot. Is there any other questions?
Thank you so much.
Montgomery, and last but not least, we have Abby Carney.
Hi, guys, I'm Abby. I just want to say, so in 4th grade, when we gave our very first presentations, Gummy and Ian made me go first. I'm not sure how many more presentations we'll have together. So this was my way of like getting it back.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Just a little context. So I chose to talk about my passion for community service. I know you guys are a community service-based organization, and most of you share your love for it. I just really love talking about it. So every generation of teenagers face their own hardships and battles. We struggle to discover our own independence itself for the first time. This is a time when we are breaking free from childhood to see where our place in the world truly is. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." I have spent my high school career with this quote in mind. Through feeding my passion for community service, I have been able to mature and nurture the characteristics that I want to have throughout adulthood, including the following: selflessness, compassion, and community outreach. My freshman year of high school, I was fortunate enough to volunteer as a coach for the West Virginia History Bowl team. The History Bowl was used to help prepare 8th grade students for the Golden Horseshoe Test. The Golden Horseshoe Test is used to quiz students about their knowledge of their state. I was a recipient of the Golden Horseshoe Award 2018 and was also the team captain of the winning team that year. At the end of my 8th grade year, my History Bowl coach revealed to us that he had accepted a job offer at a new school for the following year. The History Bowl team was in limbo unless a new coach was found. Being a part of the History Bowl team helped me overcome some of the hardest parts of my life. I wanted to make sure that this outlet was there for other kids who may need it. I spent the summer pondering what I could do to help. I made it a priority the first week of my freshman year to offer my help as a new history teacher. From September through March, I met with the team 2 to 3 evenings a week to help practice. We established team goals and expectations weekly. When tournament day came, we unfortunately did not walk away with the championship, but we all walked away with a little bit more knowledge about our great state. I worked with the 8th grade team the next year as well until the pandemic hit. Volunteering as a coach lit a fire inside of me, knowing I was helping others find their passion, learning about our state, and even having an outlet for troubles made the hours studying with them worth it. I took this moment to realize that a little bit of selflessness can go a long way. Unfortunately for me, my talents do not transfer over to my athletic ability. But I do love baseball. However, I've never played a game of baseball in my life. If I tried to do so, it would be similar to the performance of a 4-year-old on a T-ball team, which I witnessed multiple times while volunteering at the Moundsville Baseball Association's concession stand this past summer. My niece and nephew have been playing baseball in our community for the past 5 years. I learned that without volunteers at the concession stand, the teams were expected to pay for the umpire fees for every game out of pocket. I'm sure many of you have played a sport or have children or know someone who's played a sport. It is expensive to say the least. Having to pay for uniforms, equipment, and gas for games and practices can be draining for parents. I personally grew up in a household with economic struggles, and I hate the thought of a child missing out on something that they love because their parents might have to pay for umpires for every game. That is why I spent a majority of my summer, or my free time this summer, volunteering at the concession stand. I would do everything from take orders, cook food, take money. After a while, I observed so much some of the kids that not recognizing me. They would run up to me with smiles on their faces and dollars in their hand and talk to me like I was their best friend. This summer taught me a lot about compassion. Knowing a few hours an evening could be what allows some kids in our community to play a sport they love was priceless to me. Financial issues are a huge setback for families in West Virginia. I know a lot of students go without what they may need during the school year. As a president of Cameron High School's National Honor Society, I have made it my goal to help as many of my peers as possible. Before the school year started, I recognized that some high school students may not have the resources younger students do to receive the school supplies they need throughout the school year. I organized a backpack drive with a local business to receive donations for a school supply closet. So school supplies and backpacks were donated and made accessible for students in need. Recently, my school is experiencing complications with our heating system. As the temperature in the school building dropped, I realized that this may be a reality to some of my peers. They may get home from school and go to a freezing house. I talked to my advisor and fellow National Honor Society officers, and we are currently hosting a clothing drive to collect coats, hoodies, hats, gloves, scarves, and socks to stock up our clothing closet. Our clothing closet is also made accessible to students who are in need free of charge. I am so honored to be the president of an organization that makes community service a priority. Community outreach has become a huge part of my life. Watching everyone come together to give back to our community genuinely brings me joy. After high school ends and I'm no longer part of these organizations, my love for community service will not stop. There is still so much service that can be given, specifically in West Virginia. All of my life, I've heard people say that they cannot wait for the day that they can get out of our state. The poverty levels, opioid epidemic, and poor educational outcomes are too overwhelming to stop. I believe that through community service, West Virginia can be restored to almost heaven, but it is a battle that cannot be won by one individual at once. It is an effort that may take generations to complete. I will be attending Marshall University next fall, majoring in secondary education, general science, 5/3 all, which is a mouthful. I plan on obtaining my master's degree in education. I hope to one day teach in underprivileged West Virginia County and be able to provide students in West Virginia with an education they deserve. I also plan on becoming an advocate for equal education at a federal level. If we're going to invest in anything, it needs to be the students of West Virginia. They are going to be our future, and I would gladly dedicate my future to that. The last 4 years have helped me find my passion through community service. By teaching the students about our state, we are helping them respect those who came before them and appreciate the significance of our state. Donating time to local organizations is sometimes worth more than money. Not everyone can make a monetary donation, but everyone can benefit by giving up an hour of their time. Being compassionate when others are in need teaches us how to grow together in a community. I want to live in a place where everyone can rely on each other when they're feeling depressed and helpless. Through community service, I believe that we can reach unity. I want to teach West Virginia students to give back in any way that they can. I want them to be I want them to find their true self and be as proud of their state as I am. Mahatma Gandhi once said, in a gentle way, you can shape the world. Community service has taught me that there is no act of service too small. Whether you're donating old clothes in your closet to an organization, picking up trash on a walking trail that's not yours, or sharing your knowledge to those around you, you are planting a seed in someone's mind to do better and to be better. And that can change the world. I truly believe that through community service, we can all make a difference together. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
When you get to college, some colleges have, it's called Rotaract. It's a Rotary Club for college students. Check that out.
I'm gonna ask how, yeah, I'm gonna type in my notes real quick. I don't forget.
Rotaract. That'll give you your service organization.
Does anyone else have any other questions?
Yeah, so you said there, is this Cameron High School, the clothing closet?
Yeah.
Okay, how could somebody donate to there?
We have a box in the office. It's currently a Target box. I'm waiting on my sister to get me a big clothing box so we can put it in. And you can just send donations to our front office. and Put it in there.
Thank you.
Anyone else have
Thank
any questions?
you.
Wow, like all three of you were amazing. So like we have the hardest job ever now trying to decide this. So thank you for doing that to us. No, those were exceptional and you all three have such a bright future ahead of you and we just wish you all the best and cannot thank you enough for spending your time with us and sharing. It's always so heartfully. I did forget to mention one thing earlier. We are taking up a collection for Ashley Huntress. So we want to probably give that to her. December 15th would be our last official club meeting. So if anybody wants to make any donations, I'd be happy to collect those, grab a card and we'll get that to her. So just wanted to put that out there. Is there anything else anybody wanted to share?
We have something.
Yes.
Awesome.
I love awesome.
My son and his wife had a baby boy yesterday.
Aw. What's the name?
They named Nicole, Vincent. Vincent is her dad, so they named her.
Beautiful and healthy, happy. Everybody's healthy.
Yep.
Awesome. Congratulations,
I
grandma.
was
Mimi, you're not, yeah, I was like, you're not a grandma. Well, thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day. We'll see y'all next week. Unfortunately, we will not see our students next week.
Yeah.